Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to Carolina Catch a Cast. My name is Tyler Clark. We got Chris Miller here at High Rock Lake today, and we're going to basically talk about different live scope settings and see if we can get a few fish catches on camera for y'all. And Chris, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, Chris Miller, born and raised here at High Rock Lake. Crappie fishing my whole life. Used to bass fish years ago. Done a lot of tournaments bass fishing, and kind of switched over to the crappie world, and it worked out. So really enjoy crappie fishing, do some guiding, have a good time taking people fishing, and just happen to be a little bit competitive on the tournament side, and really enjoy teaching people and learning how to make people better at what they do. So.
Right, he's definitely good at what he does, y'all. The tournament results don't lie, and we're gonna see if we can put something together for y'all today, and we'll see y'all later.
I didn't think it was a crappie.
The
way he hit it, he
was
smoked
about to just
it.
click record.
Oh, you missed it. That's all right.
Well, it's a good way to start the video, y'all. Before I can even get set up, Chris has already got one in the boat.
That's funny. I saw him earlier when we sat down. I was like, well, I'm going to memorize where that fish is. And I turned back around. He's like, well, he moved. Then I looked back to the right, and I was like, no, there he is, Tyler. Good little start. Let's see what that one weighs. 1.3. But I don't exactly know. 1.33.
133. That ain't bad weight 2 minutes into the day.
Yeah, I'll take that weight fit. I'll take that all day. I'll take 7 of those all day. It's good. That's a beautiful, believe it or not, that's about, the 1.2s, the 1.3s are about almost every cast out here now. I mean, they're getting thick.
Right.
They're really getting fat bellies. They're thickening up. So, beautiful fish.
On to the next one.
Hey y'all, we're out here on the beautiful High Rock Lake, my home lake. I love it. Can't get enough of it, but I'm gonna see if we can't catch some roaming fish out here and show you guys a few things of kind of some body language of the fish and how to get those fish to commit to your bait. So we're gonna see if we can catch a few and show you guys what's going on. So check it out. There's another fish. He's only 20 feet, a little short. Y'all see the splash? That's what I like. That way, when you see the splash and you see the splash and the fish at the same time, you're going to be close. So I'll take the trolling motor and go left and right, and I'll stop it right before it gets to him. Okay, well, he's not hungry. Maybe that's the one I just caught. I don't know. I haven't looked at the screen but for 2-3 minutes. Don't think
See the bait going down.
I don't think that's on it. Okay. Feels right. He might have floated to the right a little bit. It's acting weird. It's like he's running from me a little bit. See if we can't make sure I get him super bright. I'll put the trolling motor to the right and to the left just to see when he shows up perfectly with my bait. So that way I know I make the right cast on that fish. He don't want it. I saw him flicker just for a second. He's kind of facing away from me because he's going that way, but I may give him one more shot just to see what happens. I don't think I'm dead on him. Back the boat up a little bit so I don't have to cast behind me. And now I'll turn the trolling motor to the left a little bit. See if I'll do an anticipated cast, see if that runs into him. I don't think it's gonna do it. He don't have no business with me today. We'll just find new business.
Yep.
And that's that's another thing too. If that fish don't commit right off the bat a few times, got a couple good casts on him, I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna go find one that will bite.
Right.
So
talking about a tournament setting, I mean, you can't spend too much time unless you know he's a big one. You can't spend too much time on one fish because you're just wasting your day away.
yeah. I mean, I've heard of guys talk about, oh man, I followed this giant fish for like 30 minutes. Well, you know what? Somebody else probably just caught 5 fish in that 30 minutes versus your 0 fish in 30 minutes. So we got one up high right here. We're gonna see if we can stick him. Kind of close to him. And I seen him moving pretty good. Oh, I scared him. I went too fast on him. That happens too. It happens to the best of us. I mean, sometimes you can get a cast right on their head and it gets down there too fast and you're not paying attention, and I'm all nervous because I'm on video. So I don't know. I kind of mess up and I put it on him too quick and that spooked the fish and he ran off. So.
Right. What size jig head are you using
So
today?
today, just a 16-ounce jig head with a Jake's bait. It's a color I was catching them on the other day, so I need to replace it. I've got a few that's already beat it up, but good solid 20-pound leader. I like a 20-pound leader because it gets a good slow fall.
Right.
And these fish, you know, they're crappie. They don't really smash at it like a bass sometimes, but sometimes they do. But I use a 10-pound K9 braid, and I just do a double uni knot right here. And I've tested 100,000 hook sets, and I've never had one to pop. I've tried other ones, G knot, blood knots, you know, all these different knots, and they slip.
Right.
I think because you got such a small braid going to a big leader, so that double uni knot, tournament proven, it's won me a lot of tournaments. So
I hear that. On to the next one.
A little short, a little to the left. Not supposed to make casts like that. See how I went left and right?
Yep.
That just tells me I'm very close to that fish.
Get him centered up as broad as you can in the screen.
And I think he's facing away from me, so I need to throw it just a little bit further. Make sure I get it where it's in front of him and not behind him like the first cast. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna ease it to him or her.
Oh, big mama.
Be a big one. Uh-oh. That was a pretty good roll on that fish. He just didn't want it. I hope we get a video of us catching fish and not watching it.
No. There'll be some caught.
That looks like a decent fish.
Yeah, that's a good
I'd say 1.5.
Got 5 feet increments.
And that's another thing too. I like to use the grid.
Yeah.
It kind of tells me what the size fish that is.
I do too. I got a little reaction there.
It barely.
I thought.
Barely
she turned on it. Got her.
Barely felt the hit. Not a 1.5, maybe a 1.2, 1.1. I tell you, I like to weigh my fish, especially if I'm in a practice situation. I like to weigh my fish. I like to see what they feel like, look like. This kind of gives me a bearing of what's going on.
Get your eyes calibrated to what you're seeing on the screen.
Get warmed up. There's a 1.14. Good eating fish, nice fish, beautiful fish. Moving. Still moving. See if we can get it where it comes in front of it. Oh, well, it decided to stop. I think that's too far left.
Watch this splash. There's the splash. That's what we were talking about with the transducer being right under the surface.
And that fish, as soon as it splashed, the fish turned around and started going away from the boat. and it's in the seam, so it's got you faked out a little bit.
Yep.
But once it comes out of seam, she comes back to life. Now we're going to try to just
walk it to her.
Yeah, if we're at the same right angle. Didn't want it. Like the move, that looks like white bass right there too together. I'm gonna cast on one and just see what happens. Sometimes these fish will school up, but they'll be in small schools. They won't be in big schools. Not like they are in a late fall deal. Thought I seen one turn. They were interested in it. Look at all that splash you get when you get that thing.
Well, he's talking about splash, y'all. His transducer's directly right under the surface of the water and pointed with a click or two up.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps. As soon as you see that splash, if you don't see that splash, you know you need to reel in and make another cast. Oh, dry fire.
Mm-hmm, dry fire. A couple of them roving around right there on me. And a lot of times I'll throw an anticipated cast where I'll be a little short because they're coming at me, and that way it looks more natural when it gets to the fish.
Lead them like a football.
Mm-hmm. Because they're heading that way, they're going to come toward it.
All right.
Here they come. Never hit it. See how he came to it and come back, came to it and come back, and that could have been where I was slowing the reel down, but you need to keep reeling, keep reeling, keep reeling. Bait fish don't stop and come back to the predator.
Right.
That's not a natural movement, so just keep reeling, keep reeling, keep reeling, and you should get a reaction strike, which we didn't there, but most of the time you will. To reel it away, the fish just come to attack it, and it wasn't there, and I took it out of the strike zone. I was going too fast. I left that fish too fast.
Got him.
Doesn't feel giant. Not real big, but I'd say another 1.5. Still a good eating fish.
Mm-hmm.
117.
117.
Good. With a 34 transducer. I don't think it really matters. It might matter a little bit between the 10. Man, that pontoon is flying. I mean, he's up on top of the water with a rooster tail. Because look at the difference. Look how big that one is going slow, and that one's flying. Holy cow.
He is getting it for sure.
So, wind just picked up on me right there. Barely off it. Still ain't on it, I don't think. Now what I'll do is I'll try to hold my rod to the right and pull that bait to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know which way my transducer's pointing. I just want to try to get that bait and keep it in that same cone. I'm gonna try to stop it and just ease it to that fish. And it could be there's two boats here.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what's going on here? What's going on? I don't want to get dead on him, but I might do it in my next cast. I might just see if he'll just smoke it. I don't think it's no huge fish, but oh, whoa. All right, so here's the tournament situation. Look at this size of that fish, and look at the size of this fish. I'm not gonna fish for that one no more.
Huge difference.
I'm going after this one. I'm going after this one. I'm gonna stop the boat. Don't turn on me. Still not on that fish. We're gonna go catch that fish. If that's a crappie. If it is, it's a decent fish. Golly, I thought he was gonna smoke it.
You're good back there on mine. Don't worry about my boat.
That looks like a decent crappie. Chris can't catch a fish. One. Now notice how I didn't let that go on down to the fish.
Yeah, you knew it was a bad cast.
I
so
knew
you
it was a
went ahead and
bad
pulled it
cast, so
back
I didn't let it go on to it. But we're gonna try to see if we can't get on this fish. I don't even think that one's on it. Yeah, more to the right. Still not on that fish. Now we got some wind.
Chasing this one fish, and we got a crosswind from the left to the right.
I think I let that go down too low. Too low on that fish. Golly. That wind, that's the enemy. The enemy. I didn't want to jump on it.
Here he comes.
Now, when you can't see it, I just start watching my rod tip. Ooh, I thought I felt something. I got it.
Oh! Right at the boat. That's what he was saying. He couldn't see him in the screen anymore. He's kind of right up under the trolling motor.
It's a solid fish.
And,
okay, so we're going to go back after that fish since it bit. There's another little, I think it's this one here, I think. But since it's excited and it just bit, we're going to try to stop this fish and get it to bite again. Wait a minute, something's wrong. Oh, look.
Yep.
Tell me I didn't have it. Now, again, we want to make sure we get that off, so that way we can catch this fish now. Because if I wouldn't have took that off, I don't think we'd have got we wouldn't have got a good hook set. And it could be where my line was wrapped around the fish or something, and it bit it, and it just pulled it from a different angle. Oh, I went to the line, the wind grabbed my line and pulled off a little too much for me, and I couldn't. I'm gonna leave it be. If it didn't smoke at that time, I'm gonna find another one. These are the tail hooks by Wacky Riggers, and these bad boys are a little bit, I think, better designed here. Is it has a two-part hardware up top and bottom, so it clamps together and really gets you a tighter like a clasp on that shaft of that trolling motor. So, and plus it fits on both sides of the knuckle of the power pole, so you get a better clamp here, better clamp there, and it doesn't twist, and it's pretty solid. So it's solid, and it keeps your stick, your spike solid on your power pole. So, and he builds his trolling motors, he gets them in, he builds them, puts them together, so you got a better watertight seal down at the bottom where the motor housing is on the inside and the outside, and up top too he has a watertight seal inside and outside, so you get a little bit better waterproofing on these things. And if you go to the front, this is the wireless 360 system, so when we put these in, we'll have the capability of moving the boat in a, if you turn one down and one up, I can twist the boat to the right without using my trolling motor on the front. So especially if you're dead sticking and you got a little bit of wind pushing the front of the boat, you can push into the wind without using your trolling motor as a power, and you won't prop wash and scare that fish because you're 23 feet back there with your props. So that's really cool. Or you can still go forward and reverse. And then we've got the wireless stomps too. So this is my gas pedal, so I put my gas on the right so I can go forward and and I've got my brakes back here on the left-hand side. So, and with this feature, you also have, I can set the settings of the power of the trolling motors. So if I do 1, 2, 3, that's full power with my 40-pound thrust trolling motors. I can go 2 clicks and I'm at, I believe he said 80% power, and then I can do 1 click and that's like 50% power. So I'm not really getting a lot of prop wash back there. If it's a really, really steel day, I won't use full power. I'll use 1 push, and that'll give me like 50% power, so I'm not really prop washing and scaring those fish off.
Right.
So really,
what he's
really
saying,
cool
y'all,
system.
is he's got 2 different toggles here. So you can either do, you know, forward. If you need to sneak up on a fish, you could go forward. That way, both your trolling motors are 20 plus feet behind you. You're not using the power right up here, up under where the fish is close to. And if you want to lift your motors back or poles back up, we'll demonstrate that for y'all. So you'll see he can spin one side at a time to micro adjust. So it's kind of like a 0-turn lawnmower. He can micro adjust however he wants his boat to position, and that's definitely a pretty cool feature there.
Especially if you're dead sticking. I really feel like you can position the boat to your advantage without using the trolling motor on the front to power over to the crappie.
Right.
You can use your trolling motor as a live foot, as just a stick with a trolling motor in the water.
Right.
And you're using your foot and you're more hands-free. Hands-free to me is key. That helps me speed up catching fish. And
Right.
I just don't like being where I'm holding a bunch of stuff. But although there's guys out there that are unbelievable crappie fishermen by controlling the trolling motor with their remote. So
Yep.
it's a preference. So you got either or. You just got to find what fits you best.
And tell them where they can find this brake system again.
So yes, this is Wacky Riggers down in Salisbury. We can post some information on it, but local guy, been teaching and installing all kind of stuff on bass boats for years. I think he started like 2010 or something like that. But Roy Barrows, he's a super intelligent dude. Glad to have him on board the boat, and looking forward to helping him sell these and get these out there, because it'll really, really catch more fish. It helps. 2 3-pounders, which I know if they were going to be, they'd fill up 2 boxes.
Right.
But if they were going to be really big, I would chase them in tournament if I had 7 fish already.
Right.
And if I don't have 7 fish, well, I'm gonna get my 7 fish first. We learned that in the bass world. Just get you 5 fish, and then you can start toad hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing less over here. Might be back out there. Down. So I don't spook this fish in case I do hit the trolling motor. I'm gonna stop the boat just for a second. He looked big at first. Now it don't look quite as big. I'm not dead on that fish. God, that might be too far behind him. Nope.
Reaction.
Oh, wow. Oh, dang, that's a good one. I see it just barely hooked. Thought it was. Got a little weight on that one. That's the biggest one we've caught so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll take it any day.
See what that one weighs. $172.
172.
Getting there. That's a good high rock solid fish right there. Good high rock solid fish. Starting to go down. Now when I see a fish starting to go down like this, I think it knows I'm here,
Trying to get away from you.
It's trying to get away. It's just easing down. But eventually that fish will come back up. If you stay on that fish, sometimes they'll come back up. I tried to do an anticipated cast. I was thinking that fish was going to go right, and it did. But watch this fish. I just want to prove a point here. If it could be wrong, but
he'd go down. I've heard a lot of people say when they go down to the bottom, they'll stay down for about 10 seconds and they come right back up, like they're making a little what's it, octopus or squid will do like a little burst of stuff to scare its predator.
Let's just see if this fish comes back up. 15 foot deep. Well, that's 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 15 seconds each cast.
Right.
So you're burning up time on the clock versus getting out here and catching these fish up high and really move. I like to cover a lot of water. You've probably seen it in the past where sometimes I do circles around boats.
Yep.
Just covering a lot of water. And I just try to find that one fish up here that I want to see.
There's a good fish, I believe.
Looks like it. That looks real good, Tyler. I don't know if I'm on that fish or not. I like the way he run around that thing. I made it come down too fast. I tried to stop it. The wind was blowing just right where it blew my braid as a parachute.
That one ought to be good.
Oh,
there it comes.
yeah.
Oh, that's a hit. Good one too.
Golly. Mean. These high rock crappie are mean. That's what me and my buddy Don Sprinkle say. That's a slosher. That's a slosher, dude. That's a slosher. Another.
Seen it. That's why he was on the move. He's looking for something to eat.
Look how fat.
Yeah, that's
that fish is. That fish was up high, and I eased up to it, didn't rush it, got to the fish, made a good cast, and they're biting.
Starting to get a belly on them.
Yep.
That's what I heard Shane Jones.
174.
174. Shane Jones and them were talking about the other day how it's that time of year where the females are getting eggs and filling up on shad.
Look at that.
Got that big old belly on her.
I promise, if you were to fillet that fish, which we ain't gonna fillet it, we'll put that one back. We like to fillets 1.5s and 1.2s.
Yeah.
But that there's got a big belly, and I bet it's got full of eggs in it, and food. Probably 3 shad in there.
Probably. See you later, big girl.
Top and bottom of the 2 squares. Now notice how I'm just easing into this fish. I don't want to, because I'm about to get some boat slap with this wind blowing right at me. I'm gonna get this boat right here to go by, so I'm gonna try to
There's one up top too, look like. Right above him.
Yeah.
Under the surface, maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna see what this thing looks like. I'm gonna make a good, educated flip on this fish. That's a
good one.
That is a 2+ if that is a crappie. Oh, man, I barely missed that fish. Must be a little more to the left. Man, please be a crappie. Weird, didn't hit it. Might be a catfish. He's getting a lot of return. Watch.
Yeah, he turned around. That was he's facing to the right now.
I think that is a crappie. I think. Don't you run. Holy cow.
Turned on it.
Oh my
you need
God.
A net?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna try to video this and net at the same time.
Holy cow, dude. Dang, holy cow. Oh, there's a 2. There's a 2. There's a 2. There's a 2.
Well, it ain't easy to net one and
Holy
video
cow.
at the same time.
Man, looky there,
Look at that
y'all.
fish.
There's a solid. There's the high rock. There's a high rock beast. It's spot lock. Smile. Let's see what this fish comes up to. It looks good. It feels like a 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 2.
Long fish.
212, 214. 213.
213.
Look at there. That's a beast. That's a beast. Beautiful fish. Welcome to High Rock. That's why we love this lake. Nice net job, Tyler.
No, I was trying.
Nice net job.
It wasn't easy trying to.
Even with a camera in the hand.
She gone.
That's awesome, dude. So we'll talk about out of the box settings. You know, for your 34 transducer. You know, a lot of people are buying them now, and they're just going ahead and buying the 34, which I mean it'll work for pretty much both. But here's out of the box 34 settings, and then we'll go into like a little bit of advanced settings for like tournament or really good areas to set it up where you can determine what you're looking at and how clear everything is. But with this one, you know, I've got the 1022 and the 34 transducer, so with the 34 seems like you don't need as much gain. So I backed my gain down. Like before with the 32, I was up there a little bit. I was running a little hot, but on this one I'm around 65, 67 in this depth of water, 21. But when I get shallower, you get more of a return off the bottom. Everything's bouncing around, so I'll ease it up a little bit. I won't have it quite as hot, but in this situation, I haven't touched anything. This is how I've got mine set. So I'm around 67 on the gain. My depth range, I like 16 foot because I don't like fishing anything deeper than that. I like fishing for fish up high most of the time, unless I'm structure fishing. And then forward range, you got your transmitters on. So we'll go to sonar setup. In my appearance, I like amber. Some guys like green, the emerald. There's different colors, your preference, whatever you like, but I'm just a original amber guy. My color gain is at 90%. My color limit is set to 30. And if we go back out of here and we go to, I believe it's layout, this is important to me. I've always used my reverse range on high. I don't like it. I can't for fish under the boat. So I want to be able to give me a full look of the whole screen.
Right, that was huge for me.
Yes, I don't like it when it's up here. I mean, yeah, if I'm fishing deep water, maybe it can help me. It might show me what's under the boat, but I don't need to fish under the boat. I know they're going to get to about right here under the transducer, and you're not going to see them anymore. So I've got full coverage and full view of a fish and the size that I like to see right here. So I like that. That's my favorite. We'll go back to sonar setup.
Yeah, and he's also running his grid on his thing, and whenever you're brush pile fishing, you know, for fun fishing, it doesn't really matter, but when it comes to tournament time, and that grid really helps you separate a smaller fish to a bigger fish, because you know, if he's on my screen, I usually have 2x2 blocks, so if that fish takes up half of that block, you know he's at least 12 inches long, such as that one we're coming up right there.
That's a decent fish.
You know, you got those grids help you basically size that fish up, whether you want to spend time on him to fish
see,
or not.
these are bait. This is bait, because look how little the dot is, and you could take your jig and throw it out there, and it'll be the size of these dots. So go back to, I think we got everything here. Go back out of here. I like my noise reject on off. I think it speeds up this system a lot faster. I don't really need it on low, medium, or high. I found that for me, it does what it needs to do. I mean, it takes that delay out of your fishing when you're watching your bait go down to the fish. You get more of that bite catch,
right.
instead of if it's down here on high, bite catch. It's got a lot more delay. So my ghost reject is on low. You know, I have played with that a little bit, and you know, you can try it on these different settings, but see how I'm getting a little bit more return here on this beam.
Yeah.
I don't like that, so I keep my ghost reject on about low, and it takes all. It really clears up the screen for me and my style of fishing. So my TVG is on low. That's this section up here that I reckon it reads a little different up in here when you're in real shallow water, but I keep mine on low. Just something that works for me, and then overlay data is your stuff here. We'll go to installation. I've got my install depth at 2.5. I could probably move that up a little bit more, and I would probably not get as much reflection up here as high as I've got my transducer clicked.
Right.
So I like mine at around 2.5, although my transducer, if you look, it's not but about 3 inches under the water. So
I don't know if I can see it or not, but his transducer is right under the surface. Right there.
Of course, both of us are on the front of the boat, so we got a little more weight pushing that transducer down. If I was up here by myself, it would almost be about right there. Of course, High Rock is pretty muddy right now, and that gives you an idea how dirty High Rock is. My focus, these, I don't think these really matter much as far as, you know, getting it set up out of the box, but my focus is at 90. So this is really going to tell me how my beams are overlapping and how my beams are hitting on the ground or hitting on an object. So I've got mine set at around 90, 100. Out of the box, you can use the auto fresh and it'll get it pretty close, but I think, in my opinion, every transducer is a little different. Those wires are all connected a little different each time, so you're not going to get the exact setting on each one. So there may be one right here that's set at 120, and you need to drop it down to 110 to get those beams where they line up, and you don't get that, you lose that fish through the beam. So 90 works real well for my transducer. And of course, you got restore sonar default, so we don't want to hit that, but I could put it back if I needed to. So calibrate compass, important. This is where, if you've ever seen where you put your transducer in the water when you first get fishing and you get this swaying, you get that swaying, it can't find the bottom, so you'll have to calibrate it. And it's, to me, I get a better calibration when I cut the big motor on, leave this thing pointed forward, and I know everything's level, and then I just do 2 circles. I think it calls for a circle and a half or two 360 circles.
With the big motor.
And that way you're not using your motor, it's not putting off any negativity or any energy, so you're going to get a cleaner calibrate up here. I think mine went to like 95% last time.
Right.
So that's one thing that helps keep that transducer to find the bottom faster and everything's level. Is there anything else I'm missing, Tyler?
No, I think you're good. As far as appearance, that's all based off of, you know, personal preference. I like amber on especially overcast days like this, but during sunny days, I really come accustomed to using moss. Moss is black emerald they're both green colors, but black emerald's a little bit more brighter, and my moss tends to come up in my eyesight a little bit better. There's a black emerald right there. And
that's really not bad. I mean, I wouldn't mind using that.
Yeah.
But like you said, certain situations, certain daylight, certain cloud cover, sunlight, it could be real good.
Yeah, I believe that covers it as far as the settings go.
And if we've missed anything during the live shot next week, or live pod, or Facebook Live, we can answer any questions. So if we did miss something, just let us know, and I'll do my best to try to get you as much information and how I use and input this information to you. So, hey y'all, appreciate y'all watching the video. We just ended up here on High Rock.
And Chris taught me a thing or two. Hopefully he teaches y'all a thing or two. We went over different settings and got some fish catches on there. And I even got to grab the net a time or two for her. But Chris, go ahead and show them what we caught them on today.
Was using some Jake baits. We got a really cool color here. It seems like it done real well, but this candy corn in that dirty water with the action of the curly kicker, this thing's got a curl with a little paddle tail on the end, so not a lot of movement to get this thing to move and kick in the water. And the fish were following it and they were smashing it. Had a great day, caught some good fish. Nice 2-pounder on video. Yep. So can't wait to see the net job that Tyler done on that fish. So, but yeah, had a great time, and I hope you guys learned a lot, got to see a lot, got to see some live shots of the screen, talked about our setup, and had a good time.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I had a good time. I appreciate you.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put this video out and probably let it marinate for a week or so and give y'all time to watch it. And we're gonna do a live the week after. So probably about 2 weeks from now, we're gonna do a live version like I did in my first episode. And that way y'all can give y'all time to watch this video and see if you have any comments or anything like that. And get on there, ask him some questions, pick his brain, and see if y'all can't learn something more from him. So I appreciate y'all joining me. This is going to be the second episode of the podcast. And any parting words, Chris?
Go out there and spend time on the water. Learn how to dead stick, learn how to flip them fish. Figure out what works for you. Don't fish other people's fish. Fish your fish and have a blast, have fun. So,
yep.
Looking forward to answering a lot of questions in the coming weeks.
Thanks for watching, y'all.
See ya.